In this tutorial, you will learn how to do this animation in the next couple of minutes. Yes, you won't have to draw anything. Everything is pre-made for you, and that's how fast you can work with Cartoon Animator 5. So let's get it started. To follow along, you will need to have the free resources downloaded already. So if you have that, let's scroll down to where we have Scene and Prop. Double click there, and then I'm going to scroll down, and then I'll find this Park 02. And then I just click and drag, and we have a park. Look at that. We already have the park done for us. Now, let me show you a little bit of the navigation. If you're using a PC and you have a mouse that has 2 clicks, then you can navigate like this. You press Alt and then the left button, and you move the camera to the sides like this. And then I release the Alt button, and then I press Alt, and then both clicks, that zooms in and out. I'm scrolling up and down with both clicks pressed on the mouse. This is very easy to use, right? I can move the scene to one side and then to another one. And then finally, if you don't have this and you're working on a laptop and instead you have a trackpad, you can be using these tools right here. This one is the zoom tool, which can go in and out like this. And then I can click on the next one, which is the pan. And that one moves the camera to the sides, up and down. I can also press Z for the zoom tool, or press X, and then that selects the pan tool to move to the sides, up and down. And then finally, I need to be, after you position the camera to where you want, you need to go back to selecting the normal tool, which is the select tool. I click on that, and now I can select the elements in the scene so I can move them around or do whatever I need. Now, when I have an element selected, I can move it up and down. But if I want to bring it forward and backward, I can click and drag this arrow, and that brings it closer to us. I'm bringing it right now closer to us, right? That right now is very close. Look, when I move to the sides, it's very close to the camera. Or I can bring it back again. Let me move it to the side to where it was, right there, right? Practice moving some elements just so you can get the hang of this. And now what we're going to do is add a character. For this, I want to go back from here, right? So if I'm in Scene and Prop, I can go back by clicking back. And then I'm going to scroll up and then double click on Actor and scroll down, and we're going to select Johnny, the one that says Johnny S, which stands for side view, or the F for frontal view. I'm going to select the side view. Just going to have him here. Just click and drag, and then I bring it up a little bit, and then he seems to be a little bit short compared to the bench, so I'm gonna make him big. You can resize elements by clicking on this corner and then dragging to the sides. So I would say maybe about there is the normal size. Now let's do some animation. For that, I go again to where it says template, back, and then go back in here. I mean pack. And then I double click on animation. And then in animation, you can see that there's a huge list of animations. I want to filter it. So below where it says all, you can have collections. I have custom collections. But in here, you can have the animation. I'm going to expand it and then open the 2D motion, and then the human, and then male, and then side. There you go. I only have male character animation from the side view. So I'm gonna scroll down all the way to where I have the walk forward. I'm going to use the walk forward 1, and then you see an S. That means start. And then this one is a loop. That means you can keep playing it again and again. And then E stands for end. So you have the start, the loop, and the end. So let's have him start walking. And before I animate, I make sure that I'm on frame 0. And then I just double click on walk, and now double click on the loop. And then I'm gonna do another double click. He's gonna go outside the screen. So for now, I need to press Alt and then click and drag to the side so I can keep seeing him. And then he's going to stop. There it is. Look at that. We have an animation. You already have a walk cycle. Just go to YouTube right now and check any tutorial for walk cycles. You get, it's at least like 20 minutes. How much did it take you to make this character walk? Like 10 seconds. It was really fast. So now I'm just going to have this play from the beginning. And actually, let me play a little bit, beep, and then stop. I just played and stopped just to get a feeling. And then I want my animation to end right there. For that, I'm going to open the timeline. And then in here, in the timeline, you have this button, and that marks the end. I'm going to click there, and that ends the animation. So if I go to the beginning, I just press here where it says start. And you can see that now, I'm going to press Alt and then click and drag. You can see that my timeline is starting to get populated. If I select a tree, that tree shows up in there. I select the bench, and then the bench shows in there. I don't want to have that many things showing. So what I like about Cartoon Animator is that it has this button right here, is the object track related. That means that if I select the character, only the character is shown. If I select that tree, only that tree is shown. That's great. So now I click on the character, and if I click on motion, you can see that I now have these elements. I have one clip, I have another clip, and then another clip, and then finally this one. Now, what if this timeline was longer? I can zoom out and zoom in. All I do is press Alt, and then I scroll the mouse wheel like this. That's really, really, really convenient. Then I can zoom in, and then I can press Alt and then click and drag, and I move the timeline to the sides. So this is very, very practical. I really like this. And if you don't have that, what you can do is zoom in by clicking here. I'm zooming out. Or I can zoom in clicking this one. Very good. Now, there's one thing that I don't like about these walk cycles is that the squash and stretch is too exaggerated, is this effect. I'm gonna press space, which is the same as pressing play in here. I'm gonna press space, and he's too bouncy. So I'm gonna go back to frame 1, and that is an effect called FFD. I click on it, and then I'm going to select this clip, and then press delete on my keyboard, and then select the next one, press delete, then the next one, and then press delete. Now I go to the beginning, and I have an animation. This feels a little bit more natural for me. Very good. Now, we need to do one last thing, and that is to animate the camera move. To do that, all I have to do is go to frame 0, and then I'm going to click on this button right here. It says camera record mode. When I click it, you can see that now it says record right there. The other thing that I want to see is the keyframes. So when I do or adjust anything, I want to be able to move the keyframes around if I need to, even delete them. So for that, I'm going to click right beside the object related. Right here it says the track list. I click there, and then I click on project, and you can see that now it's showing me the properties of the project. And in here, I can see the camera. I click on camera, and that's the first keyframe, right? So I just going to position the camera where I want it. I'm gonna zoom out by double clicking. I mean, both clicks, Alt and both clicks, and then position it right there. Then I'm going to go to the end and then reposition the camera. I'm pressing Alt and then click and drag all the way to here without showing this. Now, what is this shot showing? Well, you can see that in here, this is the frame for a screen. Anything that is inside will be part of your animation. Anything that is outside won't show. In other words, this ending won't show if I preview it. I can click on this little eye for the preview, and this is what the animation would look like. Now, what happens if I press Alt and then click and drag and I show all the way to here? This will show empty space. Let's preview. And look, yes, this is not something we want. We don't want to show that the background ends like that. So instead, I'm going to press Alt and then click and drag, and I'm gonna put it right about there. Now let's go to the beginning and play to see our animation. Look at that. Woo! Camera animation, character animation, and background all in one place. Very simple to use. And with that, you have an animation of a walk cycle. Now, some things that you can explore, I'm going to hide the timeline, is what if you try having your character sit down? You can have him sit down and then being idle, and then you can stand up again. So this is very interesting. You can check it out. Now, what if you need other characters, other backgrounds, other props? Well, you can go to Help and then click on Reallusion Content Store. In here, you can click on Cartoon Animator and you can get characters, you can get heads, you can get props, you can get even animation, more motion clips. And for example, if I want to click on character, I can see a huge gallery like Toon Scenery, Guru. These are the best-selling stuff that they have in there. Or I can scroll down and keep looking for more characters. The same with backgrounds and scenes. And finally, if you want to learn more, you can also click on Help and then Video Tutorial and learn about getting started, the character, motion editing, and all of this. So that's it. I can't wait to see what you create in Cartoon Animator. Take care.